The History of Rome. A graded reader, Level A2. Chapter 1, The Legend of Romulus and Remus. The story of Rome begins with a famous legend. There were two twin brothers named Romulus and Remus. They were the sons of Mars, the god of war. A bad king wanted to kill the babies. He put them in a basket on the river Tiber. However, the babies did not die. A mother wolf found them in the forest. She gave them milk and kept them warm. Later, a shepherd found the boys and took them home. The boys grew up and became strong men. They decided to build a new city near the river. But the brothers had a big fight. Romulus killed Remus. Romulus became the first king of the city. He called the city Rome because his name was Romulus. The date was April 21, 753 BC. Chapter 2, The Seven Kings and the Republic. In the beginning, Rome had kings. There were 7 kings in total. Some kings were good, but the last king was very cruel. His name was Tarquin the Proud. The people of Rome were not happy with him. In 509 BC, they decided to change everything. They sent the king away and started a republic. In a republic, there is no king. The people choose leaders to make decisions. The most important group was the Senate. The senators were rich and powerful men. They talked about laws and war. 2 men, called consuls, led the city every year. This system helped Rome grow strong. The Roman army started to win many battles. Soon, Rome controlled all of Italy. Chapter 3, Hannibal and the Elephants. Rome became powerful, but it had enemies. The biggest enemy was a city in Africa called Carthage. They fought 3 big wars called the Punic Wars. In the Second War, a famous general named Hannibal attacked Rome. Hannibal was from Carthage. He was very clever and brave. He had a big army and 37 elephants. Hannibal did something amazing. He traveled across the high, cold mountains called the Alps. The journey was very difficult and many men died. However, Hannibal reached Italy and won many battles. The Romans were very afraid of him. But the Romans did not give up. A Roman general named Scipio went to Africa to attack Carthage. Hannibal had to go home to help his city. Finally, Rome won the war and Carthage was destroyed. Chapter 4, The Rise of Julius Caesar. After the wars, Rome was the leader of the Mediterranean. The Roman army was the best in the world. One general became more famous than all the others. His name was Julius Caesar. Caesar was a great leader and a brilliant speaker. He went to a place called Gaul, which is now France. He fought there for 8 years and won. The people of Rome loved him, but the Senate was worried. They thought Caesar had too much power. They told him to leave his army and return to Rome. Caesar did not listen. He crossed the Rubicon River with his soldiers. This started a civil war in Rome. Caesar won the war and became the dictator of Rome. He helped the poor people and changed the calendar. But some senators were still angry and afraid. In 44 BC, they killed him in the Senate house. It was a dark day for the history of Rome. Chapter 5, Augustus and the First Emperor. After the death of Julius Caesar, there was more war in Rome. His adopted son, Octavian, fought against his enemies. Octavian was very young, but he was very smart. He won the battles and became the most powerful man. In 27 BC, the Senate gave him a new name, Augustus. Augustus became the first emperor of Rome. This was the end of the Republic and the start of the empire. Augustus ruled for 40 years. He brought a long time of peace called the Pax Romana. During this time, the empire became very rich. Augustus built many beautiful buildings and roads. He famously said, "I found Rome a city of bricks and left it a city of marble." The Roman Empire was now very big and stable. Chapter 6, Daily Life in the Great City. Life in Rome was very busy and loud. More than 1 million people lived in the city. Rich people lived in big houses called villas with gardens. Poor people lived in tall, dangerous apartment buildings called insulae. Water was very important for the Romans. They built long bridges called aqueducts to bring water from the mountains. Everyone went to the public baths to wash and talk to friends. For fun, Romans loved the games. They built the Colosseum, a giant stadium for 50,000 people. Inside the Colosseum, gladiators fought each other or wild animals. They also went to the Circus Maximus to watch fast chariot races. Children went to school if their parents were rich. They learned reading, writing, and how to speak well. The Romans ate bread, olives, cheese, and grapes. It was a very modern city for that time. Chapter 7: The Roman Army and the Frontiers. The Roman Empire was huge. It covered parts of Europe, Africa, and Asia. To protect this land, Rome had a very professional army. The soldiers were called legionaries. They were very disciplined and trained every day. A soldier had to serve for 25 years. They built strong walls and forts at the borders of the empire. In Britain, Emperor Hadrian built a long wall to stop enemies from the north. The army also built thousands of miles of roads. These roads connected all the provinces to the city of Rome. People said, all roads lead to Rome. Because of these roads, the army could travel quickly. Merchants also used the roads to sell silk, spices, and gold. The army was the secret to Rome's great power. Chapter 8: Constantine and a New Religion. For a long time, Romans believed in many gods like Jupiter and Venus. But then, a new religion started in the East, Christianity. In the beginning, the Romans did not like Christians. They thought the Christians were dangerous because they did not pray to the emperor. Many Christians were punished or killed. However, the religion grew and many people joined. In the year 312 AD, everything changed. The Emperor Constantine had a vision before a battle. He saw a cross in the sky and heard a voice. He won the battle and became a Christian. Constantine made Christianity legal in the empire. He also built a new capital city in the east. He called it Constantinople, which is now Istanbul. Now, the empire had two centers, Rome in the west and Constantinople in the east. Chapter 9: The Fall of the Western Empire. After many centuries, the Roman Empire started to become weak. The empire was too big to control. There were many problems with money and bad leaders. Also, groups of people from the north, called barbarians, started to attack. The Huns, the Goths, and the Vandals wanted Roman land. The Roman army was not as strong as before. In 410 AD, the Goths entered Rome and took many treasures. The people were shocked because Rome was not safe anymore. Finally, in 476 AD, a barbarian leader removed the last Roman emperor. His name was Romulus Augustus. The Western Roman Empire was finished. However, the Eastern Empire in Constantinople continued for another 1,000 years. The Great Age of Rome was over, but its story lived on. Conclusion: the Roman Empire fell, but Rome did not disappear. The Romans changed the world forever. Many modern languages, like Italian, French, and Spanish, come from Latin. Our laws and our governments are based on Roman ideas. We still use Roman designs for our buildings and stadiums. Today, millions of tourists visit Rome to see the ruins of the past. They look at the Colosseum and the Forum and feel the history. Rome is called the Eternal City because it never dies. The story of Rome is a story of human ambition and greatness. Even today, we can learn a lot from the ancient Romans. The end.